What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a great week. Just wanted to ask you a quick question. So, how's your garden? Well, what do you mean by that, Mark? Well, you know how Adam and Eve were, God placed them in the garden so that all their needs were actually met. Since you and I are born again, walking in the new covenant, technically the kingdom or the garden is actually already in the inside of us. So, when I ask you how your garden is, I want to know, like, what have you truly been planting in your garden and how's that cultivating going? Sometimes when I think back, when I actually had a garden, I had a lot of steps or processes that I followed through to kind of prepare. First I had to see myself with, see the garden. Secondly, I had to kind of step into and get the what I saw on the inside and bring it out and kind of, mark out the land, remove the grass, till the ground, get everything prepped and ready, put the nutrients in it that I was going to put into it. But then, at that point, then I had to make a decision what I wanted to plant. So when I took things that I wanted to plant, if I wanted to plant corn, tomatoes, green beans, whatever it is, I had to make that decision, buy those seeds and plant those exactly how much I wanted. And then once I got those planted, then I had to continue to maintain that. I had to continue to water that. Then I had to keep checking on the extra garden, so I had to check on it daily. So I would look for, and one of the things we actually had issues with is deer. So deer would basically try to come in and have a free lunch. So then we had to create a fence going around my garden to prevent the deer from basically walking in. They would have to, jump over a 4-foot fence, which sometimes is not too hard for them. But, you do what you do to keep things out. And even sometimes when I'm going out there, I check the, garden every day, every other day, whatever it was. I would go out there and, I see how the plants are growing, which is phenomenal because I'm doing my thing. I'm watering the seed, making sure it's getting the daylight that it needs. But at the same time, if I saw any type of weed that was growing in the garden, then I would go out there and remove it. I'd say, remove that because I did not want those to take any nutrients away from the seeds that I planted. And it's the same thing with our minds and in our heart. It's the same concept. So this is kind of flipped it over from a spiritual perspective. If you are believing, like you find a promise in the word and you see that, basically it creates the hope. And then you start to plant that in your heart. So your heart is created to follow the hope or the picture or the desire that you actually see. It's like the processing center. So when you actually plant the promises, like by his stripes you're healed, for example, it's like you've got a garden going on and you're ready for that to grow, to manifest, so then you can eventually put the sickle in and harvest it when it's ready, when it's ripe. And it's the same concept too. It's like the enemy will try to bring in weeds. Every time it tries to bring in a weed, it could be a thought, a circumstance, situation, whatever it is. You have to make the decision going, I'm not receiving that. You kind of push it down and you stay focused and you keep the word in front of you. That means your words don't change. So I like to look at Mark 11:23 this way, which says this. Since we're talking about sowing, because we're sowing the word into our hearts. And then from that point, we're keeping our focus on the word and eliminating the distractions. So Mark 11:23, you can read it this way. It says, for verily I say unto you, so he's talking to you and me, that whosoever shall say, change the word say to sow. So that whosoever shall sow unto this mountain. So whatever situation it is, you're going to take a promise and you're going to plant it to sow for the harvest of that manifestation. So, and then it says, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea. And it shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he soweth shall come to pass. He shall have whatsoever he soweth. And I want you to kind of think about that. So, how's your garden doing? What promises am I planting in my heart, keeping in the forefront, and allowing my words to match exactly what I'm focused on? Because sometimes you can plant a garden. If I plant that garden and go out there, get it all prepped and ready, get everything go, and then I never go back out there again, then what's going to happen? Weeds are going to start to form. And my plants are not going to be able to produce the harvest that I want to be produced. Same concept with the word. If I'm going to entertain all of these distractions through, if it's television, radio, conversation, whatever it is, if I'm going to allow them to come in and start planting seeds, then it's going to affect the harvest that I'm actually desiring. I love the key phrase in Psalms 103:19. It says this, the Lord has prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. You and I have one of the most powerful things that we can ever have, and that's the word that we can literally plant in our heart, because our heart will follow your hope or desire. So whatever you're believing for, your heart goes, oh, great, I'll take that seed and let me produce that. While you rise, go to bed and rise, get up. You don't know how it's producing, but it is producing because that's what the heart was created to do. Is produce that or help bring to pass what seed you've planted. So this week, I want you to really think about, how is my heart? What's been going on with it? And am I allowing so-called weeds or distractions to be planted in my garden that's preventing the harvest that I'm really pursuing? Are my words matching up with that? I always find it interesting, especially with a lot of the teenagers. They try to say the so-called cool lingo that's going out around today. And at the end of the day, why would you ever want to say something that's cool that doesn't really line up with truth? Some people use like the word sick. Man, that's sick, which means good. Technically, that's perverse speaking. So why would I want to say something perverse at any time? Because I'm trying to sit there and stay focused on my yes being yes and my no being no. So I want to keep my words lined up with what I'm truly believing for. And that way, my spirit man knows exactly what I'm saying is real, and that's what I'm expecting, and there is no question. I appreciate you guys' time. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need me to come into agreement with you, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks.